How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews. Back with a little bit of Maine up in this piece in the form of Wolf's. It's called Wolf's. Ugh, I'm the best. Wolf's Neck India Pale Ale. I was about to say I've never had this before. I have like this weird kind of thing in the back of my brain that I might have reviewed this before. We're going to review it anyway. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm just thinking of stuff. It is an India Pale Ale. It is from Maine Brewing Company. It is almost exactly 1 month old. It's actually 1 day less than 1 month. And it says, a gift to the people of Maine and its visitors. Wolf's Neck reminds me of the great importance of protecting land for future generations to experience and enjoy. We've dropped a pebble. Now we go to see where the ripples go. Eleanor Houston Smith. Yeah. Maine. I dig them. You should dig them too. I just honestly wanted a really well-made, clean IPA. I saw this on the shelf. I said, well, yeah, but I also wanted something new. And I'm like, if that doesn't come from Maine, if I can't trust Maine to do that for me, I don't know who I would do, except for the West Coasty people. So, anyway. Label-wise, I always dig on Maine's labels. Smart, to the point. Yeah, it's got a subtle haze to it, nothing too crazy. Not too hazy by today's standards. Excuse me. 2 fingers, a very much just barely south of khaki colored head. So it looks like it might come off a little bit sweet. Pretty uniform bubbles from micron to small up top, and this really kind of lively carbonation, and it's a very soft kind of more pale ale looking beer. As far as ABV goes in this, it is 6.5%. So yeah, it looks like 6.5% IPA / pale ale. Let's get a nose. Dare I smell ranky-dank. Ranky-dank, funky weediness. Now, dirty weed. It's scalliony, oniony stuff in combination with a bit of weediness. Not something I typically get from a lot of Maine beers. There's a bit of skunkiness to this. I think that is just a ranky, oniony thing. Could be some late struckness. I doubt it. It's like one of the fresher Maines I've had. So it really is an oniony, weedy kind of hop. Not like super stanky weed, not like Alchemist level, like high-end reefer. Kind of like Beaster weedy mixed with garlic and onion. Kind of ranky-dank. A bit of sweetness there, or the perception of sweetness. I gotta say that for people that get really upset. But no, I don't think it's gonna be that sweet. I mean, the head, the look, I thought it tinged a little bit that way. Honestly, I gotta dive in. Cheers. This is delicious. This is a danky beer, man. A very kind of Vermonty dank onion beer. You know, it's that, again, middies, Beaster, weediness, with this really cool kind of oniony characteristic. As sweet as it needs to be, but not a sweet beer, especially for the style. A really nice, full, flushed out mouthfeel. It's not dense, it's not turbid, it's not thick, it's not any of those things. It's not thin. It's what you'd expect. This is very much, think West Coast IPA or West Coast Pale Ale, but Vermont weed and onion. That's essentially what you have going on here. And I dig it. I didn't think the beer was going to be like this. I mean, this kind of, that ranky thing is not what Maine typically does, at least from my exposure. And I've had a decent amount of their beers, but it's the beer I wanted and the beer I needed that I didn't know I needed. And I didn't know, well, I know I always want this beer, but I didn't think I was going to get it here, and I'm really glad I did. And it is that kind of really well-made, tight, taut, executed kind of beer. There were those really zero as far as negativity goes. That's delicious. I'm glad I'm drinking this right now. Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. It's not a sweet beer by IPA or Pale Ale standards, but it's probably a little bit undersweet, but it's sweet for where it needs to be. that mouthfeel is fantastic. It gives you the density you want, making you think you're drinking something of higher ABV. The hops show so cool in this. They're kind of weird, Jekyll and Hyde neurotic. There's a little bit of fruitiness in there, a little bit of citrus, a little bit of kind of maybe even a little bit of stone fruit peachiness, but it really kind of hangs its hat. Because I didn't really talk about the fruit portion of the show, but because it hangs its hat so heavily on that beester weedy, oniony kind of portion of the show. It's not like 2x4 to the face that I've gotten in the past, but it definitely gives you a little bit of that, maybe even a little bit of catty old school Simcoe level stuff. It's just bringing a lot of old school vibes and a new school sensibility. It's just a pleasurable beer to drink. Let's talk about this beer. Is it one of the better IPAs I've had as of late? Did they call it a pale or an IPA? An IPA. 6.5%. Yeah. Is it Mount Rushmore status? No, but it's eking towards the top. Valued availability on a sucker. I think it was $6.99. Listen, you're talking about, a $24 4-pack or whatever, this beer ends up being. If you put a 4-pack together, that's stuff I typically get in my soapbox and bitch and moan about, but it's Maine. Their money goes to their employees. They're B certified, right? Yeah, and they do so much stuff for their neighborhood, their state. Good causes. I have no problems paying the prices that their beers usually cost, and leave you with it if you like what we like this. If you like the stuff I said in this video, pretty much that's what I should say at the end of everyone. Yeah, that little bit of weedy, oniony ranky dank, and a nice kind of West Coast based malt. You'll love this. There you go. Review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out in the social media stuff. Beer Massif. Podcasting stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying, a little bit of Maine right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.